There's a tired sleep can't fix, a darkness no light drives out, a heaviness you carry in your bones. There's a tiredness that no amount of sleep can fix. It's the kind of weariness that stretches deep into your bones, a fatigue that feels heavier than any physical load. It's a tiredness that lingers long after the day has ended, a weight that can't be shaken off by simply resting. The kind of tiredness that seeps into your soul, making even the simplest tasks feel like monumental efforts. And then, there's the darkness. A darkness that no light, no matter how bright, can drive out. It's the kind that twists around your heart and mind, a shadow that doesn't lift, no matter how hard you try to move forward. That darkness is a constant companion, a reminder of all the things that have been lost, the pain that you can never fully escape. It's not just in the mind, it's in the body. A heaviness you carry, both physical and emotional, that aches in ways you can't explain to anyone who hasn't experienced it themselves. It's a weight in your chest, a lump in your throat, and an ache deep within that stays with you even when the world keeps moving around you. In the midst of it all, there is resilience. Resilience is not something you are born with. It's a skill, a muscle that can be developed, nurtured, and made stronger over time. Like any other muscle, it's built through use, through perseverance, and through the practice of showing up day after day, even when it's hard. Even when your body is tired and your soul feels like it's been drained of all its light, you find a way to press on. It's about engaging with life in a way that acknowledges your grief, honors your losses, and gives space to your healing. Resilience is the quiet act of showing up, even when the world doesn't seem to notice. Every setback, every moment of darkness and grief shapes your resilience. It's not a destination. It's a process, a continual unfolding that invites you to grow, adapt, and become, little by little, more whole than you were before. The process doesn't erase the pain, but it teaches you to navigate through it and move forward, even when it feels impossible. And every victory, no matter how small, adds another layer of strength to the foundation you're building. You learn to stand even when you feel like the ground beneath you is giving way. But this battle, this constant fight, is not only within. It's a fight against a world that has done a great job of boxing us in, of limiting who we are based on arbitrary standards. From childhood, I learned that love was conditional, not unconditional. I've been told time and again that my worth is measured by how much I fit into the mold that others have created for me. I've fought with that my whole life, struggling to carve out space for myself where I felt unseen, unheard, and unworthy. This struggle against societal biases is a significant part of my journey. When I think about my parents, I remember the chaos of domestic violence that defined much of my early years. Those memories still sneak back in, creeping into the quiet moments when I'm alone and when the weight of the past feels heavier than anything I'm carrying now. Hiding in closets as a child, terrified of what was happening around me, I learned early that love was sometimes loud, sometimes violent, and often fleeting. Those moments marked me. They shaped the way I saw myself, the way I viewed love, and the way I perceived the world. It's a bitter truth that the trauma of witnessing violence in your home doesn't go away when you grow up. It follows you. It stays with you, whispering in your ear that you're not enough, that you'll never escape those shadows. I carry these scars with me. Some are invisible, hidden beneath layers of defense mechanisms I've built over the years, but there's one that remains in plain sight. A scar beneath my eye, a constant reminder of the physical abuse I endured. I was just a child, and the day it happened, I was hit in the face by a fan belt, a sudden harsh blow that left its mark not just on my skin, but deep within. Every time I look in the mirror, that scar stares back at me, and I can't help but feel that boy inside me, the scared, hurt little boy who didn't know how to protect himself, who didn't know how to shield his heart. That scar, no matter how much I've grown, still pulls me back to that moment of fear, vulnerability, and pain. It's not just a physical scar. It's a symbol of everything I've fought to overcome. I see it, and I'm reminded of the trauma, of the battle I didn't choose, of the pieces of me that were torn away in those moments of violence and neglect. And in those moments when the weight of the world feels too heavy, when I'm struggling to keep moving forward, that scar seems to echo the painful truth. That the battle isn't just external, it's internal too. Every day I have to confront that scar, both the one on my face and the ones buried deep inside, and remind myself that I am more than the sum of my past. I have survived. And emotional neglect, though often overlooked, has had a profound impact on me as well. It's one of those silent killers, less obvious but just as damaging. Growing up, I didn't feel the warmth of unconditional validation. My emotional needs were left unmet, and that left a lasting scar. When emotional neglect is your reality, it can shape every relationship you have as an adult. You carry with you a persistent feeling of unworthiness, as if you're not quite enough to be loved or valued. That feeling can act as a barrier to deep connections with others. You build walls around your heart, fearing rejection and judgment, afraid to show the world who you are. The weight of this neglect is something I've carried with me, and it's a burden that many others may also be familiar with. The result is that for years, I distanced myself from the people who loved me most. I isolated myself because I believed that if I stayed far enough away, I could dull the pain of loss. But in doing so, I cut myself off from the very support that could have healed me. I turned inward into a world that was too small and too lonely ever to provide real peace. The struggle with isolation is one that many of us may face, serving as a poignant reminder of the importance of connection and support in our healing journeys. The struggle of heightism and identity, and the world's expectations, those arbitrary boxes we're all expected to fit into, only magnified this isolation. There's a bias that sits at the core of how men are viewed, particularly black men. Heightism is one of the most invisible but pervasive biases I've encountered. For years, society has told me, and men like me, that we are only worthy of love, respect, or leadership if we are tall enough. It's as though our physical stature defines our worth. This struggle with heightism and its impact on my identity is a significant part of my journey. I've heard it countless times. I don't know why this short guy thinks he can talk to me, or men under 6 feet are my little brothers. Those words sting because they're not just insults. They reflect the larger societal view that short men, especially black men, are somehow less than their taller counterparts. When a man doesn't meet these height standards, he's immediately disqualified from being considered a real man. The media perpetuates this bias too, showing tall men with women of all heights, but rarely showing a black woman romantically paired with a shorter man. The exceptions are few, reserved for men of wealth or status. So we are left to question, are we valued only by how tall we stand or how much money we make? This bias runs deep in society and in the workplace, where studies have shown that taller men are often perceived as more capable, more intelligent, and better suited for leadership roles. And it's not just in the corporate world, it extends to every aspect of life. These biases leave shorter men feeling alienated, prompting them to question their place in a world that values superficial traits over character and substance. Mindfulness and resilience in the face of bias. But resilience is the response to these challenges. It's not about fitting into the mold that society has set for us. It's about surviving and thriving, despite those arbitrary standards. I've learned that resilience doesn't mean never feeling tired or defeated. It means being able to recover from these feelings. It means continuing to fight, day after day, even when the fight feels endless. Even when the weight of expectations presses down on you, making it feel impossible to move forward. Mindfulness has been a tool that's helped me face these struggles. It has taught me to sit with my discomfort, to acknowledge the pain and trauma, and to observe my feelings without judgment. When grief, frustration, or anger rise up within me, mindfulness helps me stay grounded. It allows me to find calm in the chaos, to breathe through the discomfort, and to remember that this battle, too, is part of the journey. Every moment I sit in stillness, every breath I take amidst the storm, helps me build resilience. The emotional neglect, the trauma from my childhood, and the societal pressures are all parts of my story. But they do not define me. They do not dictate my worth. My resilience, my ability to face those shadows, to rise again and again, is what defines me. A journey of healing. Healing doesn't happen overnight. It's not an instant fix. It's a continual process, a slow unfolding of strength, growth, and understanding. As I've faced my demons, both within and from the world outside, I've learned that healing is about more than just survival. It's about finding peace amid chaos, about letting go of the fear that once ruled my heart, and about embracing the idea that I am worthy of love and respect, not based on how tall I stand or how much I've accomplished, but because I exist and because I fight to keep going. Resilience, like mindfulness, is a practice that requires dedication and commitment. It's about showing up, even when the fight feels too much. It's about knowing that each battle you face, no matter how small the victory, adds to the strength that builds over time. And though the world may try to box you in, label you, or make you feel less than you, you always have the power to fight back, to stand tall in your truth, and to rise again and again.